Let's talk a little bit about the most recent sales tip, how we discussed the subconscious. Okay, now the subconscious is just a part of the brain. Now, this is actually really interesting. This is most likely going to be a two-part video because the subconscious and the unconscious mind, there's differences there, okay? And it's very difficult to do all that in a 15 to 20 minute video. So what we're going to do is right now we're going to focus on the subconscious. So what the subconscious really is almost, as I like to tell people, it's like a gut feeling, okay? It's obviously it's in your brain, but your subconscious is always there to protect you. It's automatic. That's what the subconscious really wants to do, is it really wants to protect you. And it wants you to understand that it's only looking out for what's best for you. Now, let's dive a little bit deeper. Let's say you are in a really bad situation. It does not matter what situation you're in, okay? A really bad situation. And something is telling you, this isn't good. This isn't good. And you know it too because you're like, I have a bad feeling about this. That's your subconscious. It's telling you something's not right. And most of us do not listen to our subconscious mind at all. And it's actually kind of detrimental to us as human beings because when we do not listen and then something happens, we always say, oh, I should have trusted my gut, right? I should have listened. I should have did this. I should have did that. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know what? It gets to the point in everybody's life where they start to follow that subconscious. Now, someone recently reached out to me and said, I was dealing with something at work, they said, and I think it's time for me to move on from this place of employment. I'm not happy. I'm not happy, and I need a change. So they said, what do you think? I said, well, what took you so long? And they chuckled at first, and they go, well, what do you mean? I go, like, you didn't see the signs? You didn't listen to anything, did you? And they were like, well, what do you mean? I go, are you telling me that all of a sudden today, and today right now is Wednesday, so are you telling me today, Wednesday, all of a sudden you woke up and said, yeah, I don't like it, I don't want to be there anymore? And they were like, well, no. I was like, exactly what you're about to say is your subconscious. Your subconscious has been telling you these things and giving you these little hints and giving you these, as I would call them, subtle hints that you chose to not pay attention to. Now, listen, it's very, very easy to step aside and not pay attention to your subconscious. A lot of times, there's things that get in the way of it. If you're working at an establishment, doing extremely well financially, or maybe you have a lot of freedom there, whatever your motivator is, if they're meeting your motivator and maybe even exceeding that expectation, a lot of your subconscious warnings are going to be kind of blocked by those motivators that are being met, right? And those needs that are being met by that specific situation. Like I said, it could be an employer, it could be anything, right? It's almost the same like if you get a car, a lot of us up here in Massachusetts, a lot of people do have motorcycles. I was never really a motorcycle guy. However, some people be like, I want a motorcycle. And what happens right before they buy the motorcycle? They never bought one, right? They never owned a motorcycle. Maybe they've only been on it a couple of times. What's the first thing that goes into their mind? I think it's dangerous. I don't know if I should really do this, right? You start to have those second thoughts. That's your subconscious telling you, okay, this might not be the greatest decision for you. Okay, it might not be. So other people say the subconscious is how we all grew up watching TV. You'd have the angel on one side, the devil on the other side. That's your subconscious mind, okay? The positive and the negative with the conscious mind, going back and forth. And, you see the good, you see the bad. You don't know what you want to do. The bad is get the car or get the motorcycle, get it. And the good side is saying, maybe you should think about this. This might not be in the budget, or this might be too dangerous for you. This might not fit your lifestyle. The subconscious mind is always going to give you the hints. And these subtle hints are something that I always tell people to really pay attention to. So back to the example of a buddy of mine that reached out to me, said, I want to leave the job. And I said, well, tell me what led to this, okay? And he starts to tell me. He says, well, this happened and this happened and this happened and that happened. I'm like, okay, so it's been kind of routine, right? Very consistent. There's been issues that have been occurring left and right. And I'm not saying you've kind of pushed them aside, but you kind of have, right? Because you were making good money there. And he goes, well, yeah. All right. Well, the subconscious mind was giving him these feelings, and that's why he was getting so upset at the issues that he just, told me about. However, the motivator for him was financial, and he was making more than enough money, a lot of money, to the point where he was like, well, I'm willing to put up with this crap, right? But the subconscious mind was trying to protect you, right? The whole fight or flight mode, it's the same thing. So to give you guys a relatable example as well, if you think about this, okay, the fight or flight. This is actually a story that I heard from somebody else, and I'm going to reiterate it the best I can. I'm going to keep it very short and sweet. There's two situations, situation A and situation B, okay? Situation A, a guy's in the woods and he's in a cave. He's dying, okay? He's just got this terminal illness. He's dying. He can't move. He can't do anything. He's literally laying down, essentially on his deathbed, waiting to pass. Okay, that's where he's at in life at that point of his life. So that's situation A. He's terminally ill. He's waiting to die. He cannot even move. The poor thing is just done. Here's situation B. That same person who's terminally ill, staying, in that cave, okay, just waiting to pass on, okay, a bear goes into that cave. That individual gets up and runs out of the cave. Now, what's the point? Well, if you paid attention at the very beginning, I just said that he couldn't even move. He was terminally ill. He's just waiting to pass. He just doesn't want to go anywhere. He just wants to pass right there. But then in situation B, a bear comes in. All of a sudden, this person has energy to go. That's the subconscious mind protecting him, or her, right? Is protecting that person. And that fight or flight mode starts to kick in. The subconscious mind understood at that very, very millisecond that if I stay here, this bear will kill me and make me suffer a lot more than if the bear wasn't there at all. Okay, so if the bear wasn't there at all, my subconscious says, I'm good. I'd rather just lay here and not move and I'll be fine. I'll pass on in the coming days, whatever. But then the bear comes in and the subconscious says, you got to go. You got to go. This thing is going to hurt. This thing's going to kill you, and it's going to be a lot worse if that thing kills you. The individual knows that he's going to pass no matter what, whether it's the bear or the terminal illness, right? However, the subconscious let him know, you got to go. And it was quick, and he up and left. The point of giving you even that example is to help everybody understand that the subconscious mind is there to protect you, okay? So if you feel that something isn't right and just something's not adding up, okay? I'm not saying, if that's the case with your significant other, you got to go break up with them. I'm not saying that. But it might be a conversation to have. Hey, this doesn't really feel right. I want to talk to you about this, okay? And you go from there. Before you know it, your subconscious is going to say, okay, we're good. And you're not going to have those feelings anymore. Or your subconscious will get even worse. And people try to run away from it until they realize, wait a minute, no, that's your subconscious telling you you're getting closer. You're getting closer to the end. You're getting closer to the answer that you're really looking for, right? And, how does this affect you in the sales level, in the hustle level, right, for our show? It actually affects you very, very much, because this is what happens. When you are in a situation where your subconscious is telling you something isn't right, I'm going to give you the direct example if you're in sales. If you're talking to somebody and you're trying to maybe qualify them, right? And you get to the point of the ending of the qualification, they're saying things that just do not add up. Your subconscious is going to tell you, check on that. Now, if you just let it go, you might go through the entire presentation if you're in the B2C world, and you might just waste your time in theirs and realize they weren't qualified. You actually could have figured that out hours ago when your subconscious was telling you something's not right. Some people say the antennas go up. Okay, I always say something's going on. The hamster's going, right? So something's up. The subconscious is telling you, okay? So now you just spent 2-3 hours in the B2C world trying to sell somebody something when your subconscious was telling you that's not right. Something's there. Okay, something's going on, okay? You chose not to pay attention to it. Now, with an experienced sales rep, sales exec, whatever, they're going to pick up on that, okay? This is what's happened to me many, many times, okay? When I was in the B2C world, I would ask questions like, has anyone looked at this yet? Meaning a competitor. Oh, no, you're the first one out. Okay, awesome, great. Do you guys have any questions for me? Since I'm the first one out, do you guys have any questions that I can answer? I'm assuming you guys have never done this before. And I'd look at both of them. Usually it's husband, wife, or husband, husband, wife, wife, right? But I'd look at both of them, right? And they usually would say, no, we're at the very beginning stages. I go, okay, sounds good. Then as we start going around, they say something. And that's where the antennas go up, right? That's where the hamster starts going on the wheel. Here it is right here. Remember, they told me that no one has come out to look at this yet. I'm the first company through the door. Here's what they say to me, not maybe a half hour later. I'm going to tell you why they said it in a second. I'm going to tell you what they said. Here it is right here. Oh, someone told me that we could do this. Now, with your novice sales reps, and maybe even like your intermediate sales reps, they won't really pick up on that because they're in the middle of something. Their brain is doing 100 different things. It's really not focusing on that. However, your subconscious is. It's filtering everything out. It's trying to protect you. So what your brain is really doing at that moment is they don't care about this. The brain doesn't care about that. The brain doesn't care about that either. The brain cares about keeping you safe and keeping you in the right at all times. So now you're going through your sales process and they go, well, I was told we could do this. And most sales reps would be like, well, you could X, Y, Z, right? Whatever reason it might be. They might say, well, you really cannot do that for X, Y, Z. Me, I would say, okay, can I ask you a question? And they'll say, yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm just a little bit confused. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Earlier, I asked, both of you if we were if anyone else has come out and taken a look at this project, and you said we were the only ones, but you just said that someone said that you guys could do this. I'm confused now. Have you had other people out? Because I want to just kind of clear the air, and I want to give you all your best options here and your best solutions for what we're looking for, but it's all based on honesty. I'm looking for honesty from you guys here. Help me understand this. That's my subconscious telling me, beep, 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 back up. They just said someone told them that they can do something when not an hour prior they said you're the only one that's looked at this. So what I do is I listen to the subconscious and I go, can you help me understand this a little bit? And then they start telling you. Now, why do you think they tell you? Now, this is going into another show, but I'm going to allude to that right now. The rapport is so strong. The foundation is so strong, okay, with these clients that they'll just tell you anything. Not lying to you, but they would give you all the information that you asked for. I could literally say, hey, what color was your first car? They'd be like, silver, why? But if I just walked through the door and I've never met them before and there was no rapport, hey, by the way, what color was your first car? They'd be like, what? Are you okay? They think you're on drugs, right? So the whole point is that when you're at that stage and your subconscious starts to kick in, you got to listen to it. It's very, very important. You want to listen to that subconscious because in my experience, when I'm doing what I'm doing, if I just let that go, okay, about, well, someone else told us we could do this. Now, listen, it might not be another company. It might be a friend of theirs. However, that is still somebody. Okay. And if they say, well, it wasn't a company, it was just a friend of ours that said we could do this. I go, okay. I said, so if they've looked at it and they said that you could do it, did they explain how you could do it? Well, no, they just said that we could do it. Okay. I mean, look, anything can be done. Anything. With the right budget and the right plan, anything can be done. Okay. Are you looking to do some major renovations or are you guys looking to just do a simple replacement? Oh, no. I'd rather just do a simple replacement. Okay, then I'd rather shy away from that whole idea if that's okay with you guys. Because to do what you guys just said, it's going to cause a complete renovation. You just told me you didn't want to do that. You see how now I'm confirming. It's clear communication. We've done this in some other shows. But that's what I would do. It just rolls off my tongue because I would do that on a daily basis, right? Even at the executive level, I would still do that. I would say, well, can we just back up just for a minute? Earlier we discussed this. I don't have it written down here that you said, HR was an issue within the company or PTO was an issue within the company. Is that a serious issue that I can write down? Because I want to make sure I have a solution for that. That's my way of saying, whoop, subconscious went off, antennas went crazy, the hamster's on its wheel, right? And I got myself to the point where I'm like, okay, this is what I have to do. I have to address this. Okay, so the whole point of this show is to help you guys understand that the subconscious is there to help you. It's there to protect you at all times. It'll never be there to let you down, ever, okay? And when you're sitting there, whether you're in front of a client or even just a regular conversation just with friends or family, right? Spouse, anything, Understand the subconscious is there to help you and keep you safe. That is huge. Okay, listen to it. Okay, it's always going to be there to give you little subtle hints if something is not adding up. Now, I'm not saying question everybody. I'm not saying overanalyze everybody. I'm not saying that. Okay, when things are going fine, they're going fine. But if someone says to you, I know, that's so weird, the sky is like purple, that's awesome, you're gonna be like, huh? And you're gonna look at the sky, right? Because your subconscious is like, that doesn't sound right. Now your subconscious doesn't know, well, whether that person lied about the color of the sky. It doesn't know. It just wants to make sure you know that that's not true. It's trying to protect you. That's all it's really trying to do. And it's very, very important, especially in the sales game, is to understand that. Understand that the subconscious, we do things on autopilot at like all times. Okay, I think the statistic is like over 80% of the time we're functioning on autopilot. I mean, have you ever been driving and all of a sudden like 35 minutes just elapsed and you're almost at your destination? You have no idea what happened in the last 35 minutes. You were just listening to music and driving. Your brain is on autopilot. It knows automatically that if you're driving and those red lights in front of you turn on in the vehicle in front of you, your brain automatically moves your foot from the ignition to the brake. Automatically. Okay, and you just do it. You ever do that? You kind of like, you're looking around as you're driving, not crazy, but you're looking around out of your peripheral vision, you see the red lights, and then your foot automatically makes its way, right to the brake. And then you just turn your head to the front of to your front of you, and you just sit there and you just wait till you can go. Same thing if it's a red light, green light. Okay, you're on autopilot most of the time. Your subconscious is there to protect you. The subconscious is there to watch out for you and watch over you. Okay. Trust your subconscious mind. Okay, it knows what it's doing. Okay, and we're going to go so far into this because this is just part one of the subconscious mind. We're going to go into the subconscious mind in the next show. Okay, and we're going to start talking about how things can stay in your subconscious mind that happened years and years ago, and some of it does take like therapy to get out of it. Okay, it's everything that's happened, PTSD, preconceived issues, things that have occurred when you were younger, all of those, and it just collects in the subconscious, and that's what develops the security for you. Okay, I'm going to give you one final example before we sign off tonight, and here it is. If I tell you 2 + 2 is what? 4. Okay, when did we learn that? Years ago, right? I'm 34. I learned that when I was, 6, right? Something like that. So we're talking 28-ish years ago. Wow. A long time ago. So we're talking 28 years ago, I learned that 2 + 2 is 4. Now, if someone says to me, that equals 5, okay, my brain is already going crazy, being like, wait, what? Because my subconscious is telling me, no, based on what you learned 28 years ago, 2 + 2 equals 4. That's what you learned years ago. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that because we're going to go into some real serious examples of how the subconscious is based on all of your experiences up to this point. And some of them, like 2 + 2 is 4, is a simple positive experience. You know that's the answer. But some of the actual issues that your brain comprehends and has dealt with can go really, really deep. That's going to be in part 2 of our show. So thanks for listening, guys. Like and subscribe on YouTube. We're also on Instagram as well. Please follow there. TikTok is blowing up like crazy. We do daily sales tips every single day on there. And then we do some funny stuff, but it's always usually sales or success related. Sometimes I like to throw a little bit of personality in there. But go on there, like, subscribe, follow everything. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. Message us on Instagram, message us on TikTok, whatever you'd like. Message us. We'll answer your questions. I appreciate it. On to the next.